So we shall be looking today at the idea of coming back to myself. This is an expression we use a lot, so we'll have a chance to sort of look at it in more detail. So I establish my posture in the body and in the mind, releasing tensions in the body, releasing tensions in the mind, and paying attention in the body, allowing an upright posture to arrive with a minimal amount of tension, and paying attention with the mind, observing the breath. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. In, out. So coming back to the posture and allowing the posture to be your support. So just make sure you're sitting on your thighs and not so much on your buttocks. So your sits bones, the very top of the thigh, is pressing into your cushion or your chair. And allow the sits bones moving down to create a sense of hollowness in the pelvic bowl, emptying the lower abdomen. You can actually take your hip bones and mentally widen them, send them apart, the back of the hip bones, opening back and out, allowing for more space and a sense of hollowness, of emptiness in the very lower abdomen. And let that support the spine. Let the chest open softly. Let the shoulder blades relax into the back. Notice the tendency to want to open the chest by squeezing the shoulder blades together. See if you can let go of that, widening the shoulder blades. Then allow a sense of hollowness in the throat. Tuck the chin ever so slightly and open the back of the neck. Keep coming back to the hollowness in the pelvic girdle, in the throat, the opening of the back of the neck. allowing the skull, the brain to be hollow, empty. Let the eyes recede back towards the back of the skull. Feel as if there's a straw coming up from your perineal floor all the way up the front of your spine, bubbling up. This is your core, the front of your spine. Keep coming back here. And you can do that mentally by simply lengthening the back of your neck every so often, tucking the chin in slightly. Or sending the sit bones very lightly into the ground. Now see if you can align your core, your spine, with the universe, allowing the front of my spine to be a reflection of the universe. I can align it with a star, with the sun, with the moon, or with the ocean, or perhaps with a tree outside my window. I can be specific in my alignment and align it with a particular part of the universe. Or I can generally allow it to reflect the universe. I keep coming back to my core, coming back to myself. And now I experiment with the way I connect with the world through my senses, the sense of touch. I bring my two palms together in front of my chest, sensing the contact between my two palms. Can I feel that contact between the two palms within the core of my body, rather than just in my hands? It might help if you bring your thumbs to touch your chest or your fingers, your chin slightly, giving it a little more support. So just playing with that sense of touch being brought all the way into your core, resonating within your core. And experimenting with sight. Let go of the hands. You may want to turn the computer screen slightly away from you or turn away from the screen. I open my eyes. I allow the eyes to recede back towards the back of the skull. Rather than sending my eyes out, I allow the world to come to me, seeing from my core and not so much from my eyes. Just allowing whatever comes through the eyes. No searching. Letting go of the vision field. Feel like you can close your eyes. And noticing my hearing. Allowing the sounds to resonate within my core. Hearing not just with my ears. Hearing with my whole being. Whatever sounds there may be in the room. Without latching on. Without naming them. Without being attached to any sound or non-sound. I can do the same with smell and with taste, though they tend to be less stimulating during meditation. I allow the sensations of the world to come in and vibrate within my core, become one within me, yet not invade me. Reestablishing the alignment of my core by hollowing the lower abdomen, supporting the spine, lengthening the back of the neck very gently, just to create a sense of hollowness. And now experimenting with the sixth sense, with the mind, allowing feelings to touch my core, become part of my core, and yet not invade it. I touch joy. I touch love. I notice it has an expansive quality, and I allow that energy to touch my core. And touching fear as an energy, not as a story. Noticing It has a downward, a sinking movement quality. And letting that energy touch and resonate and be engulfed in my core, in the front of my spine. We touch sadness, grief, sorrow with its inward consolidating movement. And I allow it to come and be absorbed by my core. And touching worry or anxiety, it may have a contracting feeling to it or a frantic quality, like a stop and go. And touching that experience from within my core. Each feeling that I touch with the alignment of my spine, with my core, allows me to touch the feeling and to create more space within myself, to align myself more and more with the universe. I use each feeling, each sensation as food to establish my core and its alignment with the world. What happens when I am a jewel on the net of Indra, reflecting all other jewels? How does a sensation, an emotion, or a thought feels when it is not connected to my aligned core? And how does it feel when it is in a core that is connected, that is reflecting? I can see or hear or touch or smell or taste or think, touching the world, interacting with the world, and keep shoring up my core, its alignment, its expanse. To come back to myself in order to engage with the world. This is the smile of the Buddha, embracing the world. It is the Bodhisattva, hearing the cries of the world, not pulling away, generating compassion. I come back to myself so as to touch the world. You may have noticed that I did not include anger as an emotion to integrate into the core. In my experience, I have not been able to do that. It seems like one has to soothe the anger before one can embrace it. That's at least my experience. So I invite you to experiment with that on your own.